Well, before I start this video, let me just talk a little bit about the Hulk Hogan saying the N-word thing. Um, I mean, it just feels kind of weird. Like, I don't want to completely ruin it all, because this is a Lucha Underground video, and this is talking about Hulk Hogan. I promise I will talk about it on my Raw review. Uh, talk a little bit more about it on my Raw review. Um, and another non-wrestling thing, Chris Tucker Live Netflix show. I'll review it. I already saw it. It was fucking funny. Maybe I'll review it. You know what? If I'm interested in doing it or whatever. I'm like kind of on break already. I mean, I'm out of work. I'm not going back to work until like September, I want to say. So yay. I mean, I'm free, I guess, but I kind of don't feel free with my friends being gone. But I got my fans, and fans love wrestling. So let's talk about wrestling. Lucha Underground Season 1. Holy shit, was this really good. I don't know how I felt about it at first. Like, I'll admit, I did not watch every fucking episode. I wasn't even there in the beginning. Like, I knew John Morrison or Johnny Mundo was gonna start in the show. Um, that's all I knew basically, and that there's a bunch of masked wrestlers. I didn't know anything about Lucha Underground. Um, People were telling me about it. It was I heard it was really good. Some people told me it was better than NXT, and in a certain way, it kind of was. Then we got now the first ever episode I ever saw. I will always remember this. But it's gonna be episode Grave Consequences. It's the episode where Phoenix and Mil Muertes fought in a casket match, and goddamn, was that match amazing or what? Then that wasn't my first match I've ever saw. Obviously, it was Aerostar versus Drago. Apparently, they had a best of 5 series, and it was just going on pretty well. But thanks to a video that El Rey Network uploaded, I'll put a link down below to it. They put highlights of every single episode until they get to Ultima Lucha, and gosh, there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, first all I saw was Prince Puma versus Johnny Mundo. I've actually seen the actual match before. It's from the episode 1. It was a really great match. Johnny Mundo won. I predicted Johnny Mundo to win because at the time I didn't know who Prince Puma was. Then apparently you had like other guys like the Crew and Big Reich like just attacking and going crazy and shit. The Crew were like end up being like these really evil guys and shit. I didn't know about it. Then it felt kind of weird with the fact that you could actually have a women and male like intergender match. It was pretty cool. It was kind of odd. I didn't think they could pull it off, but there's some matches I've seen where a woman and a guy wrestle, and it's just great. I mean, like Pentagon Jr. and Sexy Star, both matches. Evil East versus Angelico, those matches were great. And yeah, let me just talk a little bit more as I go on. Like, I'll go back and forth with the year or the season. Then I started cracking up when I heard Dario Cueto say ladder match, or however the fuck he said it. It was really funny. And then I did see the ladder match. Big Reich, Prince Puma, and Johnny Mundo. The Crew interfered in the match. Johnny Mundo won. It's just going on pretty well. I mean, it's just kind of weird like how it went on. Like, it still caught your attention, but it's still kind of like confused because there's no champions and stuff. But then eventually, the first ever episode of Lucha Underground in 2015, and this made perfect sense. I mean, an Aztec Warfare match, basically like the Royal Rumble, but with pinfall or submission. You gotta get rid of everybody one by one. And it led to the final four being Prince Puma, who has been trained by Conan, Johnny Mundo, who's the most popular star there, Sexy Star, who is the most popular woman there, and Mil Muertes, the biggest badass in Lucha Underground. So it made sense. Not like the Royal Rumble, remember that shit? Dean Ambrose, who was the only person that we liked, Rusev, Roman Reigns, Kane, Big Show. What the fuck was that? No, on this, they actually pulled it really good. They And I like how they flashed back to the very first main event of Lucha Underground with Prince Puma and Johnny Mundo being the final two. And I like how they didn't just eliminate Mil Muertes just like that, like easily. They actually had to take all three of them to eliminate them. So that was amazing. That was just great. So and then eventually Prince Puma won the championship, which I was glad to see. I predicted Johnny Mundo to win. Thankfully, Prince Puma won. Not that nothing wrong with Johnny Mundo. It's just that I want to see newer stars coming, because we all know who Johnny Mundo is. He's John Morrison back from WWE. And that was just like pretty good. And you know, the Dario Cueto and Mundo storyline kind of like minused up because of the punch in the eye. Remember that? Blue Demon was in the match. I remember he attacked Chavo Guerrero. We had a bunch of like stars that like are upcoming. Eva Lise and Sana Havoc become a couple that was the whole point of them was to be shitty, and they kept losing matches constantly. And then they had Angelica, who did nothing basically except feud with them once in a while. Angelica had a crush on Eva Lise. Son of Havoc is jealous, obviously. Then eventually they break up. All this drama goes on, but Dario Cueto likes this drama, so he decided to put him as a tag team just because. And then at the same time, you have Big Ray, who wants payback from Dario Cueto for getting the crew to fuck up his eye and shit. He gets kill shot in the Mac to team up with him, and they try to be a part of the tag team tournament. Try to get the trios championships. Then another team, which was of course Tejano, King Cuerno, and Cage, I want to say, and yeah, they beat the three biggest stars, Prince Puma, Hernandez, and Johnny Mundo, simply because Hernandez turns heel. Obviously, no, I can never take Hernandez as a face. I mean, he's just not like he works better as a heel for me. I don't know about you guys. Another guy who does not work as a heel but works as a face, Tejano, and he turned face, which is kind of odd. When a fan attacked him from the ring. I forgot the guy's name, one that always drinks wine or some shit. He teams with Big Right because of the money and shit. I'm still having mixed feelings about the guy. Forgot to exactly even know his name. But I mean, he was okay, I guess. How the fuck could I forget? Alberto Del Rio, or Alberto el Patron now. He shows up, this was cool. I'm Alberto el Patron, but you already know that. And he talks to Dario. They team up. Tejano. I gotta be honest. The Tejano Alberto el Patron feud was kind of wasn't that working. Maybe if they reverse roles, Alberto is the heel and Tejano is the face, maybe it could have worked. I don't know. For me, it wasn't too perfect. There's this one Chinese girl, Black Hawk or something like that, who's been trained by a Mexican luchador. She's supposed to come, and then sadly she gets kidnapped from Chavo Guerrero because lie, cheat, steal as always. That was great. And another thing, because of the crew, Chavo Guerrero joins the crew because one of the guys gets taken by El Jefe, Dario Cueto's brother, who we all have no idea what he looks like. He, I don't know if he murdered him or he just whooped his ass or I don't know what. And simply because they lost the trios championships against Angelico, Son of Havoc, and Eva Lise in a great ladder match that you should definitely check out. Eventually there was a feud between Johnny Mundo and Alberto El Patron of who is the best, because they've both been a part of WWE, so I just kind of felt cool. I thought the match was just going to be like ordinary 3.5. This match ended up being 4 stars. Oh my god. I didn't know these guys were that great together. I know they were going to be decent, but not amazing. I don't even think they've ever had a match at WWE. And if they did, I doubt it was this fucking good. And now we're going to have a rematch at Ultima Lucha, which chances are it could be match of the night. I was gonna say match of the year, match of the night. I don't know about match of the year, people. Yeah, but match of the night definitely. I mean, maybe that or Prince Puma's Mil Muertes. I mean, and I like how they reverse role. I thought Alberto was the heel and Johnny Mundo was the face. Apparently, it was the opposite. After Johnny Mundo cost Alberto El Patron a chance to win the contendership for the Lucha Underground Championship. Instead, they gave it to Hernandez. And to be honest, that match was very underrated. It is in fact the best match of Hernandez's life. Maybe like as a solo wrestler, maybe not as a tag team, because I've seen a lot of his TNA tag matches, which were good. I've never seen an individual match with him and Prince Puma. It was very good and very underrated, and I just can't believe no one really talks about it. And that's probably because of the return of Phoenix. Not Phoenix, Mil Muertes, because remember the Great Consequence match, the casket match. Um, Phoenix beat him because Katrina just threw the stone and closed it, and the whole point was just like what the fuck. But apparently it was because they want to bring back Mil Muertes stronger. Because if they constantly have him over, like just stay constantly in the same show, then he will get boring. And this was a perfect, brilliant way to like make him feel much stronger and much like awesome. And he destroys Phoenix, even though he won an Aztec medallion, which is another thing that's been talked about a lot. Which apparently they're gonna have a Money in a Bank form, but without ladders. It's basically just 7 man just thrown in there, which is Phoenix, who won the Battle Royal last week, Sexy Star, Angelico. There's one guy, no, not Angelico. There's one guy that looks like Angelico. Aerostar, Big Reich, King Cuerno, and some other dude. I can't remember everybody's name. I'm sorry. And King Cuerno. How could I forget Johnny Mundo and King Cuerno feud? It was kind of underrated. I gotta be honest. Their individual match, their solo one-on-one match was better than their steel cage match. I gotta be honest. I feel like the reason why people love the Mundo Cuerno steel cage match a lot more is because we never saw a Lucha Underground steel cage match. But I thought it was still great. It was still great. But I don't think it was. I've seen so many much better steel cage matches. In different companies, whether it's Lucha not Lucha Underground because they only had one, WWE, TNA. I don't know if ROH ever had a steel cage match. Maybe, how the fuck? No, I just thought of a few, like, in the top of my head. There's just so much just on my head. But that was great. What else? Cage is very underrated. And now he's feuding with the Mac, which is good for him. I think he's very good. And, just hope to see what they could do between Cage and the Mac. These guys look like people WWE would want. Big guys who know how to wrestle. Cage kind of reminds me of Ryback, and the Mac kind of reminds me of Luke Harper, how a big guy could do flippy shit, which is pretty cool. I wish they did a little bit more with Killshot. He has had good matches with King Cuerno and Phoenix, but he never stood out a lot, and he deserves to stand out more because he's just fucking awesome. Another thing, the best of 5 series. So like I said, one of their matches is the first one I saw, and it was just great. I could just watch this guy go for an hour and stuff. I can't pick which of the 5 was the best, and then eventually Drago won the opportunity to face Prince Boom, but if he loses, he is banned from Lucha Underground forever. Sadly, Drago lost. I thought the match could have been better. It's just, I don't know. It was still great. I expected a little bit more, but maybe they had a stipulation that could have been better, like Drago and King Cuerno a lot earlier this year. So hopefully they do something great Hopefully they have a better, like, phenomenal rematch. It does have potential. It could be like Sami Zayn versus Adrian Neville. You know, the two of the top baby faces just go at it. Um, and then of course, Drago comes back when they announced a fatal four-way between Hernandez, King Cuerno, Cage, and Phoenix. But sadly, he got injured because Mil Muertes fucked him up. I'll talk about Phoenix in a while. But eventually, Drago comes back and demands a rematch. And if he loses both the mask and he loses this. He's no longer part of Lucha Underground. Speaking of mask, yeah, I knew I was gonna talk about Phoenix for a while, but let me talk about the mask for a while. Sexy Star and Superfly. I remember they were friends, but Sexy Star beat Superfly, and therefore Superfly lost the mask. And I was like, at first I was never a huge Superfly fan. And then when Pentagon Jr. broke his arm, he came back. I thought he was never gonna come back, and he is awesome as a heel. I mean, gosh, if he comes back next season, season 2 of Lucha Underground, this guy could easily be fucking great. I don't know, he's just much better as a heel than he was a face. I mean, this is a theme with Lucha Underground. Some people could pull off face, and some people could pull off heel, like Tejano, El Patron, a lot of other people. Big Reich, I think he was a face for a while, and then they turned him heel again, which is fucking good for that. And a guy who was both face and heel was Johnny Mundo, apparently the biggest star of Lucha Underground. Now, this wasn't like Hulk Hogan when... Wait, who's Hulk Hogan again? I'll talk about that on Raw. But, Johnny Mundo, he became a face and a heel, and both times he was just great. I will admit, him being a face was kind of getting bland. I mean, we all love Johnny Mundo. It's just, I don't know. We weren't thinking about turning him heel, but it was kind of cool that he did, and therefore we had him turn heel, and he pulled it a lot much better than I expected. This is the best way to turn Johnny Mundo heel. I mean, I didn't like him a lot as Johnny Nitro. He's just like some fucking Val Venus ripoff, always trying to fuck Melina. I would too, shit. Sorry, baby, if you're watching this. But yeah, that was great, and they had an amazing Iron Man match. It wasn't really an Iron Man match because they had commercials, and basically they pretty much wrestled for either a half hour or 40 minutes. Who the fuck knows? That's when Alberto El Patron came after. Johnny Mundo threw him through the window. That's when he came back and they officially made the rematch happen. Okay, now we could talk about Phoenix. He's one of the more underrated wrestlers that we had. I mean, he had a great match with Prince Puma for the Lucha Underground Championship. It made sense, the two top baby faces. I did say Drago was one of the top baby faces, but, I wish they did a lot with Phoenix, but when he really stood out was when he took on Mil Muertes in that Grave Consequences match. It was just really good. And, it was by far one of the best matches this year for Lucha Underground, or maybe right now. I mean, it ain't my favorite Lucha Underground match. That's gotta go for Johnny Mundo and Prince Puma for me. I don't know about you guys. A lot of you say this casket match is the match of the year for Lucha Underground. I'm gonna go put it at number 2, but it was still really, really good. Yeah, like I said, he got injured because Mil Muertes injured him. He came back and he's gonna be part of the Aztec Medallion Warfare, whatever the fuck. And chances are he's gonna win, and chances are Mil Muertes will beat Prince Puma. And then therefore season 2 we have Phoenix and Mil Muertes continue their feud. I think that's gonna be great, and I think that's gonna happen. How exactly did Mil Muertes even become number 1 contender? Well, because Katrina threatened Dario Cuero, and if there was a way to convince, like, if a girl were to choke me, I swear to God, like, I would just like flip her and shit. Like, I know Katrina's supposed to play like this gimmick, like a Paul Bearer kind of demon shit, but at the same time, if you want to get a shot at a number one contendership, you're gonna have to nail me, bitch. Again, sorry, baby. Um, yeah, but that was kind of silly. I mean, what I would have done instead, I would have just had Mil Muertes come threaten Dario Cueto. Maybe that would have made more sense instead of just Katrina choking him, but that was still great. I mean, then he had to face Aerostar. I mean, not Aerostar. Drago to be the number one contender, and because of that, um, what was his name? Oh, Hernandez attacks Drago, and then they compete. And I remember they fought him the next night, and then I think Hernandez won. I want to say, I can't remember that episode, and therefore Drago asked for. They eventually have a rematch and at Ultima Lucha, but apparently it's gonna be a believers match, something like that, where basically they have the fans attack him or some shit. It sounds weird, but hopefully it turns out pretty good. And this is a very underrated heel who I fucking love, Pentagon Jr. El Cero Miedo. You know, this guy could easily work great for WWE if he spoke English, cause I know how WWE hates, for some fucking reason, hates people who don't speak English. At the same time, they like Rusev, so I couldn't judge. Bad example, my bad. But Pentagon Jr. has seriously improved a lot. It's kind of weird how he's gonna face Vampiro. Hopefully, Pentagon Jr. beats Vampiro. It would make sense how a young upcoming star beats a legend like Vampiro. That would just be perfect. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I don't even know. The match will be great. I don't know Vampiro's condition, but the feud has just been awesome. How he's been breaking people's hands. He was gonna break Sexy Star's hand, but Vampiro saves him. So just great. And guess that's basically all I could talk about Lucha Underground. Yeah, I think that's it. I covered it all. Lucha Underground is one hell of a fucking season. A 9 out of 10. I'll give it. I could have given it something higher, but I mean, I didn't watch every single episode, and that's personally my fault, not Lucha Underground's fault, cause you know that's my fault. But it was still just fucking great to see good matches repeatedly, and just a great storyline going on over and over. Even if they're that short, they made it fucking feel like $1,000,000. And therefore, I'm gonna miss Lucha Underground, and it's not coming back till like I wanna say October, I want to say. Because it wouldn't make sense if they came back on October, since that's when they left the previous time. But anyways, what did you guys think of Lucha Underground? Did you think it was good? Did you think it was or did you just straight up never watched it? If you haven't watched it, I would like make you just check out a couple matches. Here are the 5 I recommend you. Type Mil Muertes and Phoenix Grave Consequences, Johnny Mundo, Prince Puma, or any of the matches. The ladder match between the Crew, Angelico, Son of Havoc, and Ivelisse. Just any of the best of 5 series from Aerostar and Drago. That's what convinced me to watch Lucha Underground. Oh, better yet, the Aztec Warfare. I mean, therefore you get a little preview of every single wrestler. That's, I think, the best match you could watch if you're not a Lucha Underground fan. But I mean, it was just really great, and I can't wait for the last 2 episodes. You know, it's gonna be a 2-part episode, and it's just gonna be fucking amazing. It's me, the ALE Double X. I'll watch Raw later. If I review Chris Tucker live, I fucking forgot. Hopefully, but until then, I'm out.